me to again since our reunion last 1909. I'm here to briefly tell you about our mother, Pasua. Some of us came before our parents. It was Sione and Paula Semisi. They came before our parents came from Samoa. I think it was 1968. Mom and Dad came over with the rest of the younger one, and but I remember that was the year they came over to New Zealand, 1968, and lived in Porirua till 1992. Dad passed away, and later on, about 2 years later, Mom passed away.
Well, I'm going to point a little bit further back. 1959. Next time we came from Tonga to Samoa. I was a little boy at the time, 7 years old. I remember that I'm the favorite little boy in my mother. She can't catch me, because I'm too fast for her. That's how favorite I am. Because I'm the good one, and that's why she chased me a lot. And so she was married to a Tongan man. And that's where only 2 of us born in Samoa, and that's my young brother is not here. We all been dressed in Tonga because when we go to Tonga, when I go to Tonga, the Tongan people didn't like me. But when I go to Samoa, Samoan people didn't like me too. So I asked myself where I'm going to be there. But anyway, thank God that He loves me and He cares for me, and that's why I'm here. So in those days when we first got to Samoa, it was not easy. But I got a brother. He's here. He's not coming along. He's the one. We owe everything to him. Because he's the one who only works and care for us. How many? I think 9 of us, I think. And he works to care for us. And that is my brother Sione. I never forget him. And I salute myself to him for the thing he done for his family.
It was part of the Immigration New Zealand policy that they allowed migrants from Samoa. And at that time, it was couples and with a maximum of 3 children. And as most of you know, I'm the 4th child. So I only found out later that I actually travelled to New Zealand under my auntie's passport. So I was adopted by my auntie on the day we left Samoa. So thank you, auntie. But just in terms of early life in New Zealand, we migrated here. Oh, I think you guys might know a bit more than me. I was only 5.
Just to add on Uncle Samu's blessing of our Uncle Sione. Yes, he was in Samoa. Uncle Sione, he had worked hard and supported the whole family. And even when we came to New Zealand in 1968, Uncle Sione and Auntie Maipo was there. They welcomed us and they supported us, and also Auntie Sepu. And also Grandma Sefulu, she opened her house to us and all the children and welcome us to our house in Wilson Street in Newtown. And that's memory that will go down with us, you know, the love that's in this family. And I just want to bless each one of you, you know, being here just to share and to catch up, you know, that what a lovely family that we have.
Probably with me, it all started back in Samoa. I was actually born in Samoa. In fact, my mum was pregnant when they actually reached Samoa, and I think I was born that particular night. To me, my memories of Samoa as a child was like being on holiday. I'm sure for all the siblings, it wasn't a holiday for them, but for me, it was, I was always on holiday. Either was with my mum and dad in Whakaratai, or with my grandparents down in Anauli, where the Seventh-day Adventist was. And to me, I was always happy, always doing something with my uncles. There was always somebody to carry me. You know, memories of my late uncle Semisi going to visit his lovely wife now, and courting her, I suppose is the term, and he used to carry me there, and I'll lie there and watch TV while they would have conversations and cups of teas, and then all of a sudden I feel, you know, something moving, and it's him carrying me fast asleep home. So, you know, I have great memories of Samoa, and to me, you know, it was always a warm, loving environment with all the siblings, all the aunties and uncles. And coming here to New Zealand, as Inga reiterated, Uncle Sione and Auntie Vaipo and Uncle Paula and Uncle Samir and them were all here. And, you know, once again, we come from a warm, loving environment in the islands, and we relocate back here in New Zealand with that warm, loving environment again. It's to me, it's the Saluni clan, which Whasua is part of. A loving clan, and the rest of, and it's nice meeting the rest of you guys, you know, all the other siblings from the Anauli, because to me we come from such a loving heritage of loving islanders, and I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm looking forward to the next couple of days sharing with you guys, and yeah, I'm glad that I brought my family here tonight. Thank you all.
So she's going to describe when they came over with Mum. In our family, we've had a couple passed away. We've had our older brother, my older brother, my very younger brother, Roy, passed away, so that's quite sad. And then Pio, my older brother. So we've had a couple of the older ones, and there's no recently we had a brother-in-law, Joe. And of course, a sister-in-law that was really surprised, Michelle, since our last reunion. We've had a little bit of sad times, you know, over the years, in the last 2 years, especially with Michelle and Joe recently, that have passed away. But I want Gina to talk about when she came over here, because my older brother and sister, two of the Schuster ones, were born in Samoa, I believe, or Tuesday. So here. And then Mum came over and married my dad.
Look, I'm not very good at speaking, but it's so lovely to be here tonight. I really, what a wonderful family that I have, and I really love all of you. So I'm really, you know,
I was really privileged to get to know all my aunties, all my mum's brothers and sisters, and for Auntie Whasua and Uncle. They were so good to me. So I've been really privileged to get to a bit of the life of everyone here with their parents and their grandparents, and then followed by, you know, the Salunis and Marquises that came over, and growing up with them in Newtown, and my brother going to school with Easter and all that. And I feel really honoured that I was part of everybody's life in some ways, if not their parents, their grandparents. Education was important to my mum, and that's the only sad thing I missed out, is Mum didn't teach us the language, the culture as much, because she believed we had to be westernised to get far in life. Which was sad. And because now it's different. Now our children, our grandchildren have that privilege, which we weren't really part of. But I'm really pleased to be here. I'm really glad to see all my cousins and their children, and we're still growing. And I feel honoured to be part of this wonderful family, and that we still keep in touch. That's a real honour as well.
Well, we actually thought that this part of the program was tomorrow, but anyway, so I haven't got anything planned, but just my memories of Nana was, I don't know if it was I was the Pālangi one, and my cousin Sarah, who everyone thinks I look like, said before I came along she was sort of Nana's little best friend that Nana used to take everywhere, and then I came along and she got forgotten about. But I used to spend, growing up, I used to spend pretty much every school holidays at Nana and Papa's house in Lyle Bay. And I remember my Nana being such a happy person. She was always laughing, always joking, and always basically wanting to have a good time. And but her main thing in life was her family. Because there were so many of us, she wanted to make sure that we all, stayed close, loved each other, and that was sort of what she instilled in all of us, really. And I remember she used to ring Auntie Fasua, I think it was every day. She used to give her a call on the telephone. She'd be sitting there talking to her about the old times and that. But she was a very strong woman. She definitely sort of wore the pants in her relationship with Papa. And I remember Papa saying to me, when you marry a Samoan, you marry the whole island. And I think that was because, I remember him saying every day he'd wake up in Wilson Street and there'd be a suitcase, someone had arrived in the middle of the night or something from the islands that he had no idea who it was or whatever, but he just sort of gone on with that. And like Auntie Jenny said, he had no family here, so having this huge extended family of Nanas, I think he actually really loved. So, yeah.
So I'm Serena, I'm Genevieve's daughter, the oldest of Sefulu and Papa, Pinky. I suppose I'm just going to tell you a few quirks about my grandma. I was fortunate, like Carly, to spend a lot of time with Nana. It's quite weird because sometimes when I talk to my mum, I feel like I'm talking about two different people. When she talks about Nana in the young days and I talk about Nana in the older days, it seems like a different, transformed person. But my grandma was my best friend, and we used to spend quite a bit of time because we lived up the road. We lived in Lonsdale and she lived in Onipu, and they're just kind of like 2 blocks from each other. So after school, before I found boyfriends, I used to go and spend time with Nana. And every time I'd walk in the door, she'd have her purse ready because she wanted me to go to the shop to get her some house-style chips. It was always the same. House-style chips, a snowflake, and a can of Sprite. And it didn't change. I can't ever remember her asking for anything different. And that used to be our little special time because unless Jared turned up, it was just me and Nana, and I used to just go down and get whatever I wanted, which was never the same. The other thing she used to do is, even though my cousins would come in and they'd go into town and have a hard night, I tended to be the one that had to stay behind. Otherwise I was their sober driver. And I think she knew that in some form because she used to make me sleep on her floor. And in the morning, there was no rest for the wicked with Nana. You had to get up, and at 6 o'clock, without fail, she'd knock her walking stick on the wall, and she'd scream as loud as she could anyone's name. So normally it was Serena, or Carly, or Nikki. Anyone that was in the house, you were not going to get any sleep, even if you walked in 5 minutes before she started yelling. And after we'd cleaned the house, we'd have to vacuum and do all our fouls, as we now know they're called, because she didn't call them those, she just called it vacuum or do the dishes. Or we used to have to give her black tea and 2 pieces of toast with butter on it. And I think that was the thing that I loved the most about my grandmother. She was basic, she was simple. And I always say to people when I get an opportunity to tell them about my grandmother, if I could be half the woman she was, for me, then I'm blessed.
And to be part of the fundraising, be part of the committee, because we're not going to be here forever. So again, I'm very blessed to see everyone. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm so looking forward to a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much.